It's a new session, and I will invite Honorable Bwana Masera to introduce your team. Karibu.
A parliamentary committee was today informed that the exact identity and registration status of the firm behind the private jet used by the Deputy President William Ruto during his West African trip 3 months ago was unclear. The Registrar of Companies, Bernice Gachegu, told the Public Accounts Committee that the name of the company which won the controversial tender appearing on the tender form as E-ADC Limited is not registered in Kenya.
You have a situation where the name appearing in the certificate of registration is not exactly the name that is appearing on other documents used by the company, whether that really is a normal practice.
You will appreciate that whatever you call the company is very significant for us. So it is true to say that E-ADC Limited does not appear in our database, but E-ADC Limited, as per the Auditor General's letter, does appear.
A company registered as E-ADC Limited and which was contracted and subsequently paid the services is registered in Kenya. The Chief Administration Secretary in the Office of the Deputy President, Abdul Mwasera, found himself on the spot as MPs questioned the difference in the names of the two companies, with some casting doubts on the procurement process.
It looks like the quotes or the quotation document is different from the company that was paid the money. So actually, from face value, until we get a report from the Auditor General, the belief is that this money was paid to a different company.
This EADC which you paid can even tell you they don't have a contract with you. What would you say? Because you entered into a contract with a non-existent company. And this cannot be just a technical mistake. I mean, just an innocent mistake.
We assume that this is basically the trademark of the business company, because it was presented by the same people who own ADC, and the documents were attached when you were pre-qualifying.
It also emerged that all the companies which tendered for the job had not complied with the requirement to submit annual returns to the Registrar of Companies. The Auditor General's office was required to probe the matter further. The Watchdog Committee also criticized as unconstitutional verbal instructions from the President to his deputy that were allegedly relied on to initiate the trip.
Can you occasion expenditure out of verbal communications?
Was the instruction to represent the the president, or rather was an instruction to perform the delegated function, or the instruction was to hire the jet?
I talked to the Chief of Staff and told me that the two principals had discussed, and she was...
Is there any record? Is there any record for that communication between the president and his deputy? Is there any record anywhere?
I have not seen that record yet.
The Auditor General now has 14 days to submit his probe report to the committee. Kendagor Obadiah, Citizen Live at 9.